Hi, beautiful black women. My name is Abby. I missed you so much. I hope you missed me, even though we don't know each other. In this video, we're talking about something that's been exhausting, frustrating, and honestly dangerous to our growth and emotional peace. We are unpacking why so many black women continue to coddle emotionally unavailable black men and make endless excuses for their inability to show up as healthy, mature, emotionally stable partners. So let's get into it. So, there is this idea that keeps floating around in the black community, this idea that black men deserve endless grace and patience because of how they were raised. Now, I think it's not only flawed, it's draining as well. And yet, for some reason, black women keep falling into this emotional labor trap. We keep showing up for men who don't show up for us. We keep offering therapy style nurturing instead of requiring actual maturity. We act like these men are wounded children instead of grown adults who are fully capable of doing the work if they actually wanted to. And we always hear the same lines within this community. He never saw a healthy relationship. He's not used to love. He's never been with someone who is affectionate. He doesn't know how to express his emotions. He goes into fight or flight when someone is being soft and vulnerable with him. And somehow that turns into a full-blown justification for why you, a black woman, should lower your standards, tolerate emotional instability, and give him time to become someone he clearly doesn't want to be.
Not to give men a pass, but a lot of men, especially black men, they haven't seen or haven't experienced a healthy, non toxic relationship. And so when you approach them and you're caring and you're loving and you want them, you're vulnerable and you want them to be vulnerable, you're emotionally stable, you want them to reciprocate those things, a lot of times the man cannot. And it's not a personal thing against you, it's nothing with what you're doing. It's just that when you approach them with those things, it's like they go into like fight or flight mode because it's new to them. And oftentimes, when stuff is new or change comes, we're not easily going to be like, okay, I like this. No, their first reaction is going to be like, oh no, I don't want this, which is how people get stuck in situationships and how people get stuck in these stages and things with no title, but the emotions are there and the chemistry is there, but it's not really going anywhere and you feel stuck. That's because they're not used to healthy relationships.
Let me just say this plainly. He's not doing the work because he doesn't have to. Black women, I need you to hear me. You're not his mother, you're not his rehab center, and you're not his trauma counselor. You're a grown woman and you deserve love that is reciprocal, consistent, emotionally safe, and available. So, why is it that so many black women feel obligated to be patient with these men? I think it's because a lot of black women have unfortunately been conditioned to believe that loving black men means carrying them. Carrying their emotional baggage, their childhood trauma, their insecurities, their violence, their cheating, their neglect, and calling it strength. Usually, black women will call it holding black men down, when really you're just holding yourself back. And this is what really confuses me. Why is it that black women who grew up in the same neighborhoods, the same schools, the same toxic households are somehow capable of healing, going to therapy, reading self help books, doing inner child work, learning about attachment styles, and becoming emotionally available? But black men just can't. Why is it that we come out of the same traumas and somehow still manage to love, nurture, and show up, but they get a pass? And no, it's not because black men had it worse. That is absolutely not true, even though that's the narrative I keep hearing in the black community, but that is false. Okay, most of us grew up in the same exact chaos, but somehow the expectation has always been that we grow up and they get to stay broken. That is culture. That's our culture. That's the Black community. That is the unspoken rule in our community, and I think it's time we break it. Because here's the truth: Black men are emotionally unavailable because the women around them don't require them to be emotionally present. Usually, Black women will tolerate the bare minimum. We call emotionally stunted behavior masculine. We call toxicity trauma. And we sit around dissecting why a man can't love us properly instead of walking away and saying, you know what, that's not enough for me. And yes, I know some Black women are waking up. Some are starting to say no. Some are raising their standards, but that is still the minority. The majority of Black women are still dragging around fully grown Black men with the emotional capacity of a toddler and calling it love. And I think that you, as a Black woman, you need to stop. You cannot build a healthy, loving relationship with a man who views vulnerability as weakness. You can't build a life with a man who shuts down every time you express your emotions, because that is not a relationship. That's pretty much emotional starvation. And I know what some of y'all are going to say, but Abby, he's trying. No, he's not. Trying means booking therapy sessions. Trying means reading those books to do the work. Trying means saying, I don't want to hurt you, so I'm going to fix this. Trying means self-awareness, not disappearing when things get hard, not stonewalling you for days, not expecting you to mother him through every emotional hiccup. It's not trying if you're the only one putting in the effort. Okay, Google is free. Therapy is available. There are entire TikTok accounts, YouTube channels, books, podcasts, and support groups dedicated to helping Black men heal, love, and lead emotionally fulfilling lives. If they wanted to grow, I promise you they would. The same way you have grown as a Black woman, right? You wanted to grow, so that's what you've done. If Black men wanted to love you well, they would be doing the work. Most of them are not. That's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to stop accepting it. You're not asking for too much, you're just asking the wrong person. So maybe let's stop with this narrative that they just don't know better, because they know. They just don't care enough to change. Because as long as you, as a Black woman, keep coddling them, why would they change? There's no point to. Let him be uncomfortable. Let him go figure it out himself. Let him sit in that mess alone that he created. Because if he truly wants a healthy relationship, he'll go get the tools he needs to have one. But if you watching this right now, if you keep spoon feeding him healing he never earned, you'll end up emotionally bankrupt, bitter, and drained, while he moves on to the next woman and repeats the cycle. Okay, it's time to stop giving adult Black men permission to be broken while holding yourself to the same standard of Superwoman. You're not his fixer. You're not his savior. You're not his mother. You're a woman who deserves emotional safety, peace, affection, and respect. You should stop making excuses and start making some boundaries. So here's what I'll leave you with, Black women, because I really need you to hear me. You are not hard to love. You're not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong men. You're asking Black men. They're the wrong group of men. And for too long, Black women have been told that love has to hurt, that love is struggle, that we're supposed to be the glue holding broken men together while slowly falling apart ourselves. But you're not doing that anymore. You're not breaking yourself down to build a man up. If a Black man can show up for his job on time, if he has a job, right? If he can figure out how to run the streets, if he can game the system and find his way to everything he wants in life, then he can figure out how to love you as a Black woman properly. He can figure out how to go to therapy. He can figure out how to communicate. He can figure out how to sit with his feelings instead of making you feel responsible for them. Because what do they always say? If he wanted to, he would. And if he doesn't want to, you need to want more for yourself. You need to move on. The bar has been in hell for so long that Black women have started thinking that basic respect, emotional availability, and affection are luxuries. They're not. They should be requirements. And if he doesn't meet them, then you should simply walk away. And I promise you're not bitter. You're not hard to please. Okay, you're walking away because you love yourself too much to be drained by a man who refuses to grow. You're not mothering Black men anymore. You're not healing Black men who refuse to heal themselves. You're not taking on emotional projects. You're not his lesson. You're not his therapist. Okay, we are women who deserve healthy, loving, mature partnerships. If a man wants you, let him rise to the occasion. Let him do the work. And if he can't, guess what? Bye-bye. You let him go. As a Black woman, you should be done holding hands with men who refuse to evolve. You need to be done bleeding yourselves dry for men who wouldn't even bring you a bandage. Let the healing begin with him, not through you. Let the accountability begin with him, not with your patience. Let him figure it out on his own, and you go where the love is. Black women, I hope you liked this video. I don't know, maybe you didn't. Tell me if you didn't like it. I don't know. I don't know if you did. Anyway, I love you so much, and hopefully we'll meet here again. I don't know, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. I don't know, but you and I will meet here again. And I love you so much. Bye.